Hey guys, this is Not Lammers of Invoked 101. Welcome back, and today we're doing a updated Paleo deck. This is more so an update to make this deck work in the current format. There are a few things that I personally would like to add to it, but I'll get to those when I get there. Real quick, if you want to help the channel in any way, there is a Patreon down in the description. There's also a link to our Discord down there. Our general chat is open to the public. But with that out of the way, we're going to move the extra deck and the traps off to the side, and we're going to talk about the monsters. We'll talk about the monsters real quick just because the frogs are really easy to talk about. So this is Swap Frog. He can special summon himself by discarding one other water monster to special himself, and then when he's, I think it's just if it's summoned. Yeah, so when he's summoned, you get to send one aqua monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can pick him back up, and you get an extra normal summon for a level 2 water aqua that's not Swap Frog. So pretty cool card. None of his effects are like once per turn except for like the pickup effect. After that, we have triple Dupe Frog. This card says when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can basically search a frog monster, and then I think it actually says add a frog. Hang on. Yeah, you search a frog monster. And then he has the other effect, which is that your opponent cannot target other water monsters, cannot select other monsters, sorry, on the field as attack targets. Then we have Rodentodon, and Rodentodon's effect is that he can banish a frog from the graveyard and special summon himself, and that's not once per turn. After that, we have triple Backjack. So what this guy does is when he's sent to the graveyard, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order, and then at any point during your opponent's turn, you banish him and you reveal the top card. If it's a normal trap, you set it face down, and it can be activated this turn. So just a really cool card. Also lets you go into like stuff like Link Rebo and whatnot. So that's it for the monsters. Really small monster lineup. Just really small. After that, we have the traps, which is a lot. We have the Paleozoic Traps. So real quick, all the Paleozoics have a effect, which is once per chain. When a trap card is activated, you can special summon them as a monster from the graveyard, and those monsters are unaffected by other monster effects. And they are not treated as trap cards. Other than that, they're just normal traps with regular effects. So this one's effect is that it gets to blow up a back row. Dynamiscus is that you target a card on the field, discard one card, and then banish it. Candia is a Book of Moon, so it flips the card face down. Lencholia picks up, returns a banished card to the graveyard. That's it for the 3 of ones. Pikaia is a Destiny draw. You discard a Paleo to draw 2. And then Hallucigencia makes a monster lose half its attack and defense, and Morella sends a trap to the graveyard. And that's it for the Paleo traps. Just really quick Paleo traps, because they all just do the same thing. After that, we have some of the new cards. This is Chain Hole. So this card's really cool. I gave this a read, and I really liked the way that I really liked it. And I've used it a couple times, and I still really like it. So it says when your opponent activates a monster effect in response to a card or effect activation, negate that opponent's effect. Then your opponent can banish one card from their hand or deck with the same original name as that negated card. If they do not, you can banish one random card from their hand. So it either forces them to get rid of extra copies of it, or you get to pluck a card out of their hand, which is really cool. After that, we have triple Reckless Greed, which lets you draw 2 but skip your next 2 draw phases. Basically, you just want to chain these to each other on the same turn. After that, we have something that is really useful this format, and that is double Heavy Storm Duster. This is awesome, this format, with Mystic Mine, because it lets you just pop the Mystic Mines along with the Olins. So, just a really cool card. Double Lost Wind, just a really good trap in general. And last trap is 2 Fuse Line. This is just to pop something in a column. Usually you set it in the extra monster zone. It's just a nice piece of disruption. That triggers the Paleo. That's it for the other traps. And then for the only spell I run on the deck, it's 2 Potted Desires to draw 2. Because of course. Alright. After that, we have the extra deck. And the extra deck actually hasn't changed too much. We're playing one Totally Awesome. I legitimately would play like 2 or 3 of these just because. but I only own the one, and finding another copy has been so far pretty difficult. But what this guy does, it says, he says, once per turn during the standby phase, you can detach a material from this card, special summon one frog from your deck. Once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell trap or monster effect, you can send one aqua-type monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Negate that activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Then you can set that card to your side of the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one water monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So usually what you'll do is you'll just tribute itself and put it back in the extra deck. What he does, 3 normal Congress, you don't need 3. He pops, he lets you blow up cards by detaching from himself. No, yeah. And then if a trap card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can add 1 Paleozoic to your hand. And then we have Opabenia, which this is the far superior Paleozoic monster. What this one lets you do is you get to search Paleozoics. You can detach and search a Paleozoic, and if it has a trap card, and then you can activate Paleo Traps from the hand. After that, the last rank 2 is this guy, which is the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin. This is just the pop stuff. Actually, hang on, I don't think it even does that. It negates effects and drops attack to 0. And it says it can be activated during either player's turn if it has a Phantom Knights card. Which the Phantom Knights guy is a trap card, so I guess if you really want to, you could play one of the Phantom Knights trap, the level 2 Phantom Knight trap. After that, we have the Lynx, which is just 1 Link Kribo and 1 Miss Starboy. Probably should be playing 2 Miss Starboy, but I only own the 1, so. Which is really strange, because I own like 2 copies of every other elemental Link monster. That's it for Paleo. I like this deck, and I think that this format could be a pretty decent pick. I'm kind of like sitting between this one and Subterrors, because I think that Subterrors are another really good pick this format. I've always thought, I think control decks are probably are a bit underrated, but that's just me. Anyways, tell me what you guys thought about this deck in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.